Friends, imagine this for a moment. A nuclear disaster wipes out the entire world. Every country is destroyed, and not a single human child remains alive. But in one part of Ireland somehow only 7 people survive, 1 boy and 6 girls. The future of humanity now depends entirely on them. Can civilization begin again with such a small group? This is the powerful idea behind the movie After the Dark. The story begins with James and Petra. Petra is leaving for class and reminds James not to fall asleep again, or he will be late. After she leaves, James lies down for a moment, clearly tired, and ends up falling asleep. When he wakes up, he realizes he is late and rushes through the campus, reaching his classroom just in time. The students are attending a philosophy class, and it is their final lecture of the year. Their professor Zimit announces that instead of a normal lesson, they will conduct a practical exercise to test what the students have truly learned about logic, morality, and decision-making. Students begin suggesting ethical scenarios. One student talks about a train approaching 2 tracks, one with 5 people tied to it, and another with just 1 person. The question is whether it is right to divert the train to kill 1 person instead of 5. Another student adds that if a very overweight man is pushed onto the track, the train would derail and save the 5 people. A girl then shares a situation where she is about to fall from a building and asks 3 friends for help. They refuse because saving her would put their own lives at risk. When she survives by chance, she realizes she can never trust them again. Several other moral dilemmas are discussed, but Zimit interrupts and introduces a far more serious situation. He asks the class to imagine that a global nuclear apocalypse has begun, and bombs are falling everywhere. Humanity is close to extinction. There is only one underground bunker, and the survivors must live inside it for 1 full year until radiation levels drop. The goal is not just survival but ensuring that the human race can continue afterward. The bunker can only support 10 people, but there are 21 students in the class. Because food, oxygen, and supplies are limited, 11 people must be left outside to die. Zimit reminds them that this is only an imagination exercise. They are still sitting in the classroom, but the movie shows these events as if they are real. Each student draws a card that reveals their profession. Those whose skills will be useful in rebuilding civilization are allowed into the bunker. James draws the card of a farmer, making him valuable because food production will be essential after the apocalypse. Another student is an electrician, useful for maintaining systems inside the bunker. However, professions like fashion designer, real estate agent, or poet are considered less useful. When one girl reveals she is a poet, Zimit immediately shoots her in the imagined scenario, saying that dying instantly is better than suffering from radiation outside. The class then votes on who should live. Georgina, a doctor, is chosen. Chips, a carpenter, is also selected. Surprisingly, Zimit himself is voted in because he owns a large garden and might have important survival knowledge. Those chosen enter the bunker while the rest are left outside to die. Before entering, James asks to spend some time alone with Petra. While they are together, James hears a gunshot and realizes that Zimit has killed everyone who was supposed to stay outside. Fearing that Zimit has become dangerous, the survivors rush into the bunker and lock him out. Time passes inside the bunker. One day, Petra goes outside and finds Zimit badly burned from radiation. Before dying, he reveals that only he knows the bunker's exit passcode. When the others hear this, panic spreads. Some want to open the door to help him, but others stop them, fearing radiation. They decide to wait. Months pass and Zimit's body slowly decomposes. When 1 year is complete and the radiation has cleared, the survivors try to exit the bunker, but the door demands a passcode. Zimit was telling the truth. They are trapped inside. They try everything to escape, shooting the door, hitting it with tools, but nothing works. Eventually, oxygen runs out. Some people sacrifice themselves, and the rest die. The story returns to the classroom. Zimit explains that he alone knew the passcode because his profession was construction and he had built the bunker himself. He announces a second round of the exercise with one change. The cards now include personal details in addition to professions. James's card still says he is a farmer, but it also reveals that he is gay. He is still allowed into the bunker. Georgina's card reveals she will develop a fatal illness, so she is rejected. Artists and singers are again voted out. Once more, the scenario collapses, people turn on each other, and everyone dies. Back in the classroom, the students are exhausted and frustrated. Chip suggests trying again. James becomes suspicious and checks the card box. Discovering that Zimit cheated and deliberately assigned certain cards to manipulate the outcome and humiliate him, Petra steps forward and says that this time, she wants control over the decision, making the class trust her and agrees. The scenario begins again, with a nuclear attack approaching Ireland. This time, Petra makes a completely different choice. She selects poets, artists, singers, and emotional thinkers, people without technical skills. Zimit strongly criticizes her, arguing that even a fashion designer has value, because clothing and beauty affect morale and civilization. Petra excludes Zimit from the bunker and keeps herself outside. When Zimit tries to force his way in with a gun, Bonnie, a soldier with an exceptional memory, disarms him. Bonnie also remembers the passcode because she saw Zimit enter it before. Realizing he has lost control, Zimit leaves. At the last moment, James asks Petra to enter the bunker, but she refuses. Chips pretends to hand over the voting key, then locks Petra inside and sacrifices himself outside. Inside the bunker, the group lives peacefully. They read plays, recite poetry, share stories, and enjoy each other's company. Time passes calmly, and 1 year is completed. When they come outside, they realize that the bomb never fell on their island. Everything is normal. Zimit claims they will still die eventually because they lack technical skills to survive long-term. Petra disagrees. She says she made her decision from the heart, not logic. Even if they live for a short time, they lived happily, and she is willing to accept death peacefully. The scene shifts back to the classroom. The exercise ends, and the students leave. After everyone is gone, Petra meets Zimit privately. It is revealed that they were having an affair, and Zimit was jealous of James because Petra truly loved him. Petra kisses Zimit one final time and leaves. Zimit goes to his room where a gun lies. A gunshot is heard. In the final twist, we realize that even this moment was just another imagined scenario inside Zimit's mind. The movie ends, leaving the audience questioning logic, emotion, morality, and what truly makes humanity worth saving. If you enjoyed this explanation, comment below and subscribe to the channel for more deep and thought-provoking movie breakdowns.